I took creatine for 30 days and here's what happened. Gaining muscle is hard. You go to the gym, train hard, eat well, but nothing happens. After a while, you don't seem to get any stronger. I've been there. I was grinding as hard as I could, but I seemed to make no progress. No matter what I tried, the results was always the same. Or that was until I started taking creatine.
Creatine, one of the most researched and trusted supplements in the fitness world.
With just 1 scoop a day, you could lift heavier, run faster, and build more muscle.
But is it as good as they claim it is? Let's find out.
Number one, gotta be creatine. If you're not taking it, you're falling behind.
Long ago, I went from being a fat dude, video game addict to someone disciplined who got in shape. I made good progress, but eventually I reached a plateau. I could not make any more progress. I started watching videos, trying new exercises, following any advice I could find about this topic, but something was off. For some reason, I wasn't getting any bigger. A random day, I decided to give it a try and see if it was as useful as people said that it was. I purchased it. It arrived in a couple of days and I started taking it immediately. To be honest, I didn't notice any difference in the first days. 2 weeks and nothing yet. By the 4th week, I noticed that I could lift heavier weights, but nothing substantial. So I stopped taking it. I noticed that actually the progress I was making was because I was being more consistent with the gym than before, because now I had a reason to go every day. I came to believe that it was just not for me. For some reason, it wasn't working as good as others said it would. The thing is that nobody responds the same way to creatine. For example, a 2003 study by Syratuik and Bell found that about 25 to 30% of subjects were non-responders to creatine. A non-responder person is someone who shows little to no increase in muscle creatine levels after supplementation, does not see measurable improvement in performance, either strength or power output, or may already have high baseline creatine levels in their muscles coming from their diet or genetics. That means that it doesn't matter how good the supplementation is. If you are a non-responder, you will get no benefits from it. So, I was a non-responder to creatine. Or so I thought, because the next 30 days without taking creatine, I noticed how my performance started to go down, even though I was still being consistent with the gym. The reason why I didn't see much of a difference the first days is because it takes a couple of days for your body to store creatine in the muscles and then use it. So I decided to start taking it again, this time knowing that I wasn't going to notice a big difference in the beginning. I stayed consistent with the gym and in a couple of days I started feeling my performance was going up again. It wasn't that much, but I felt like I was catching up to the version of me from the time I was taking creatine. In terms of the body, I couldn't see an improvement whatsoever, although if we think about it, it makes sense because in the beginning your body needs to collect the creatine, but then you need to use it. You need to train hard to make use of it. So as time went by, I could lift heavier weights, I could push harder, I could do one more rep and more little by little. I don't feel like creatine gave me any muscle by itself, but since it made me able to push harder, eventually I started seeing how I was breaking out of that plateau I had reached and I started gaining more muscle again. They say that creatine boosts muscle growth or something like that, but in my case, I honestly believe that my muscles grew because I was training harder than before, not because the creatine was doing something weird with my body. I try to take my creatine every day after I finish my workout. Some people say that it is more effective that way, but I don't know, because some years ago everybody was saying that the time when you take it, it actually didn't matter. I take it at that time because I take protein shake after getting home from the gym, so I take creatine too, so I just don't forget. I honestly don't feel any different when I take creatine, but I can see the difference when I stop using it. It's like the old saying, you don't know what you have until you lose it. That's exactly what happened to me. I thought creatine wasn't working when the reality was that since it was making the effect kind of progressively, I didn't notice the change immediately, but it was working. As I see it, I've become stronger, I've gained muscle, so I'll keep using creatine for a while. It's a safe supplement and has been proven to be effective on me. I could recommend it to others because I know that it works. Not because a YouTuber says so, but because I tested it and it passed the test. Maybe I'm still a non-responder and I'm just coping, or it's just placebo, but I feel like it works, and that's all that matters. Tell me in the comment what you think, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.